Tom Felice, Sean Mecke, Ashley Afonso down on the track here at the Floyd Little Athletic Center for the CIEC State Open Track and Field Championships. Next up on the track, the boys 3,200 meter run. This is an absolutely stacked field.
Yeah, we already saw these guys duke it out in the 1,600. You know, the distance runners, sometimes, though, they get that specialty. Some guys hone in on the mile, some hone in on the 2 mile. Brandon Harrington already in the first heat set the mark at 9:36. Not a bad time for him coming out of the second heat. Not sure that it's going to stand up against this field, however.
What'll be very interesting to watch, the top 3 seed times, Alex Osberg, Ari Clow, and Armstrong Noonan, all ran the 1,600 meters, and they came in 1, 2, 3 in that event. Clow winning, Osberg second, and Noonan third. But then guys like Eric Van Der Els, Oliver Hickson, and Grant O'Connor scratched from the 1,600 meters. They're focusing on this 3,200 meters, and it certainly creates an interesting dynamic between the runners.
Absolutely. Van Der Els will come in fresh, and possibly it's just because this is his specialty and he wants to focus in on this. Competing for Brian McMahon, not likely to win a team championship, so why not just go out in your specialty event and give yourself the best chance to win?
That's a very good point about Eric Van Der Els. He won the Class L title. He was 6th here last year at the Open when Alex Osberg, who you see on the inside of lane 1 with Van Der Els on his right shoulder at the front. Osberg was 2nd last year to Christian Alvarado. They both broke the old Open record, and Christian Alvarado set a state overall record, 9:07.63. Christian Alvarado now a Georgetown Hoya, and Alex Osberg looking to leave his mark here.
And Osberg and Noonan stepping out in that inside lane right in front of each other again.
And of course,
position that they find familiar.
Yeah, we saw it during most of the 1,600 where they were right there. But it's Van Der Els at the front. Kyle Badette of Amity right there trying to break up the Darien group. So Van Der Els at the front, then Alex Osberg, Armstrong Noonan on the inside. There's Badette. Ari Clow of Hall. He's back in 5th. Oliver Hickson of Staples in along the rail. Clow's teammate Grant O'Connor back in the pack a little bit. Clint Corso, Dan Schumacher rounding out the runners at this point.
You see Clow sitting in 5th position. He snuck up on us at the end there in the 1,600. He's certainly close enough, early enough in this long race.
Clow won that 1,600 in a time of 4:19.84. Both he and Alex Osberg broke 4:20. As the runners come through their first 800 meters, 2:24. Not the quickest pace. Well, actually, that is a pretty quick pace now that I do the math a little bit more in my head, but
yeah, these
it's
guys
very steady.
They're coming out to do something special today. I mean, you've got a field like this. It's not just about winning. They all want to win this event, but they all want to use this field to push their personal best time even further.
Osberg, the Class L champion. He led Clow and Noonan there. Osberg running 9:29. Van Der Els was the Class L champion, and he's still leading this one. But a long way to go. 3,200 meters. You go around this track 16 times.
Difficult to lead a race like this from start to finish. Van Der Els will have a heavy task ahead of him. Granted, we're inside and not outside, where the lead runner isn't necessarily picking up as much drag, but it is nice to be able to sit in behind. And looks like Van Der Els is seated first place here, and he'll now sit in 2nd position.
It's Grant O'Connor from Hall heading to the front, then Van Der Els, Osberg, Noonan. Behind Noonan, it's Kyle Badette, Clint Corso, Ari Clow, Dan Schumacher, and Oliver Hickson in what is a very tight field so far. And Van Der Els is going to take the lead back, and Osberg's going with him. O'Connor might have wanted to put a little pace into this race, both for himself and his teammate, Ari Clow, the 1,600 meter champion. And one thing to think about when you see these guys out there is someone like Alex Osberg, his focus is also on the national meet that's held at the Armory on 169th Street in New York City, that March 13th through the 15th. So that's still a few weeks away. So these guys might not be at their peak, but still very good as Van der Els is out in front and Osberg tucked in behind.
And in my experience, Tom, it is experience that wins this sort of event. When you've got a field this tight, it's often the person who uses their strategy to bring out their best qualities, whether that is hanging with the pack because you have the strength in your sprint, or whether it is just pure endurance. You know, Van der Els looks to be going on an endurance streak here. Some of these other guys staying close and just waiting for their chance to bite at him at the end.
Right about 4:45 at the first 1600, 9:30 pace. That's right around what these guys ran in their class meets. But there's a lot of meat left on the bone here in the second half of the race. Van der Els, Osberg, and Clint Corso from Ridgefield. 1, 2, 3, followed by Kyle Badette, Army Noonan, Grant O'Connor, Dan Schumacher, Oliver Hickson, and Ari Clow. Clow looking like he's feeling the effects a bit from his 1,600-meter triumph.
I would say, and maybe that's his specialty is the 16. But these front three are just really starting to tighten up. I think that's a sign maybe that Van der Els is losing pace a little bit. Looks like Osberg may even elect to try and push for the lead here. No, he's going to cede the lead back to Van der Els, sit in that second position, make his move later. 6
laps left. It's still Van der Els, Osberg, and Clint Corso. Corso from Ridgefield was third at the Double L meet in a time of 9:44. Osberg and Van der Els still very close. Get another look. Yeah, this is when a little bit of pace was introduced into this race.
Yeah, and you know, I think Osberg, he's a bit of a cool character. He's really allowing the others to dictate the pace, and he's just going to sit on the shoulder of that lead runner. You see him eyeing over his left shoulder at Corso, making sure that he keeps position on him. He doesn't want to have to pass 2 people down the road.
Van der Els still in front, and now Osberg's going to take the lead with 800 meters to go. 7:05. So that was a 2:20, 800 meters. And Osberg looking to push.
Very clearly, this has been Osberg's strategy all along. You saw him pick up the pace just as he's heading into that last 800 meters. You see the finish line approach. He opened up his gate, and he put himself in a perfect position to do it. Didn't have too many people to pass.
Osberg's so fast, the state champion in cross country, 9th at the New Balance Nationals. He set a new record at Wickham Park when he broke 15 minutes on that great course. Osberg in front, Van der Els right behind him. Clint Corso sticking in third as Alex Osberg, denied last year by Christian Alvarado's record run, looking for his own 3,200-meter championship.
Yeah, and looking back further in places, it's Armstrong Noonan making a move on Corso for third.
Noonan, the teammate of Osberg, looking to come through. 2 laps left, that 400 meters section, in around 69 seconds.
Van der Els looking to make a move on Osberg here. Osberg resists, holds him off.
The first half of this race a little slow to see a new open record. But Alex Osberg and Eric Van der Els still have everything to run for. Van der Els gritting his teeth as he sticks on the shoulder of Osberg, and now Eric Van der Els takes the lead at the bell.
Big move from Van der Els. He didn't want to wait till the last lap to have to make his move. He made it in the back straightaway on the second to last lap instead. Now he's just going to grit his teeth and try and hold on.
Van der Els out in front, Osberg behind him. Eric Van der Els junior from Brian McMahon High School. Looking forward, Osberg right behind. A little bit of a kick from Osberg. Is it enough? No! Eric Van der Els wins the 3,200-meter run. 9:17.39. Van der Els in first, Osberg in second.
And Darien finished 2 and 3, but it looks like Van der Els coming in and making this 3,200 his specialty event, opting not to participate in the 1,600. Possibly that could have been the determining factor.
As we step aside, get one more look at Van der Els speeding forward past Alex Osberg into the 3,200-meter win. We'll be back with the girls after this.